Hello everybody, welcome to your Saturn conjunct Pluto, January 2020. This is strongly in effect now, and certainly through August of 2020, but has even a wider berth. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction is exact on January 12th at 22 degrees 44 minutes of Capricorn. This is a cyclical occurrence. It happens about every 35 years. The last time we saw this was in 1982 at 26 degrees of Libra around the November timeframe. So you may have a reference around some things that may have happened at that time. And the Saturn-Pluto opposition occurred in August of 2001. And then, of course, we were led into September 2001. So it was a paradigm shift. And just a reminder for all of us that, remembering that reality is being manipulated by those who stand to benefit from manipulating reality. Fear is very useful to control and direct a population. So when you make the decision not to plug into that, that's very helpful. Fear is not in love, it's not in light, and you get to choose where you want to create from and vibrate to. So this conjunction is exactly conjunct Mercury as well. So communications, and there may be developments in your life that have to do with mobility, siblings, friends, children, relatives. I already know what this is about in my chart. I know what's coming, and probably chances are many of you do too as well. There's a shift in your reality, and it can be, contracting, or the need for patience, to also bear witness to the process. What is also conjunct the Saturn-Pluto is Chiron. And Chiron was the wife of Chiron, and she herself was a great healer. And Melanie Reinhardt speaks beautifully on this energy, but it's the connection to source energy and the ability to witness and hold space with shifting dynamics and paradigms and realities. And also the ability to hold space with in a very healing manner. For someone who's ill or wounded or unappreciated in some capacity. Simply holding space with others, bearing witness to shifts and changes and transitions in both your own life and other people's lives can be extremely healing. It's not so much the proactivity that Chiron might represent, but much more the receptivity of what is in a loving, clear, supportive, conscious manner. And it's also the ability, though, to facilitate transitions in life, both literal transitions from on-planet to off-planet to transitions in your own life structurally or with your reality. Being that this is in Capricorn, this does have a strong signature with work and career and life direction and authority figures and parents and corporations and hierarchies and governments. And Capricorn is also about the time-space reality and patience and being able to move yourself out of fearful habits, and into a space of learning to manifest through your own self-empowerment. Or as my grandmother Wiley, who is in spirit, and I communicate with, she has a lovely sense of humor, And she talks to me, she uses show tunes, because I was very much in the performing arts as a kid. But I was going through a bit of a passage, and I'm like, this is feeling scary. She's like, life is but a dream, sweetheart. Dream a different dream. And she was tap dancing. But that's their perspective. They know the dynamics that we're working with here. And I felt a little irritated at the time with her response, but it was a beautiful, pure, and true response, wasn't it? And I was able to engage with that more fully after I had left some of what felt like an intense piece of that. So I'll pass on my grandmother Wiley's message to you. Life is but a dream. We're all dreaming a dream here. We can change the dream that we're dreaming. Capricorn is the superlative manifester, changing the form of things, changing the structure of things. And we do that through our feelings that then can inform our thoughts and how to direct that. So, you know, the Pluto Capricorn has also been about, since 2009, 2010, the pressure to conform to structures as well. Saturn, Pluto on the world stage can either empower or overturn entrenched power structures, hierarchies. But Saturn is about form and structure. Pluto is about the transformation and the regeneration of that. So we can take that high and we can take that to the most personal areas of our life as well. And 2019 has been a really confusing year. Neptune has been so active in the energy this year. I've never seen a more confusing time out there in the collective. I call it the where am I, who am I kind of year. And 2020 is going to be really helpful for all of us because it's going to help you gain a deeper sense of clarity and groundedness. Jupiter is no longer squaring Neptune. What Jupiter is going to be doing now in grounded Capricorn, it's going to be sextiling Neptune, February and again in October 2020. So what was in a state of confusion and or adjustment and questioning now is in flow that you can step into and work with this year of 2020. Jupiter will also be coming in and conjuncting Pluto, taking up where Saturn left off. And this will be through the March-April time period, again in June and again in November. And Jupiter-Pluto is powerful. This is new beginnings being born, new paradigms being born, rebirthing. This is the global brain too. So whatever may be in a state of completion, release, and transition around this Saturn-Pluto energy, Jupiter's coming in to help in the rebirthing process that will probably be much more aligned to the evolving you that you've become and a sense of deeper purposefulness. What's also happening in 2020 is we have a lot of retrogrades. January is the only month when Uranus stations direct that will be full retrograde. So things are going to be happening quickly in January. Then we head into the Mercury retrograde in February. Then we're seeing Venus slowing down in April for her retrograde in May. And then Mars will be retrograding in September. We've got another Mercury retrograde this summer. But I'd like to offer a different perspective and lens on retrogrades. Retrogrades are challenging for external development, making things happen in the 3D, in the manifesting. What retrogrades are brilliant for is deepening clarity. And we're going to be working on this on all levels this year with our mind and our thoughts, Mercury, with our heart, our love. When we're not in love, where are we? We're in fear. our heart, our love, our relationship with ourself, connected with our mind, our ability to merge duality themes. Venus will be retrograding in Gemini. And out of that come to a middle way of grounding and sensibility. And Mars will be retrograding in Aries, which doesn't happen very often. So it's a very important time for everyone's collective male energy. We're all made up of male energy. How we assert. For some of us, it will be how to be able to assert and be aggressive even out there in the world. I mean, a lot of creativity requires aggressive energy. Being born, flowers popping up and out is an aggressive act. When we see a proliferation of violence on the planet, that is the last act of hopelessness. The person who is committing that violence feels there is no other recourse. There's nothing they can do to assertively or aggressively change their circumstances, the dynamics, their situation. So violence is actually aggressiveness inverted, because it often carries with it a self-annihilation. So we're all going to be working with that energy, and we're going to emerge, because this is a threshold passage, 2020, that is going to deliver us into new paradigms, futuristic paradigms, group-oriented paradigms, as both Jupiter and Saturn head into Aquarius. Saturn will dip its toes in this spring, but doesn't fully commit until the December 2020 timeframe, which is going to bring new growth with business and trends in business and technology and innovations. So let's go big with all of this. And you know, there's a purpose behind things, and there's a purpose in your own life, and a divine self, your higher self, has the blueprint, knows what you're doing, supports you with much love and encouragement if you are able to receive that. So these are some things to tuck away. And we're right on the full moon lunar eclipse also 2 days prior on January 10th, and we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse in June at 0 degrees of Cancer. So that's a whole new beginning and process for the Cancer house, the Cancer energy, that will take you into the second half of 2020. So much love to all of you. Thank you for subscribing. And it will also alert you when you hit the bell, because I do post on the YouTube community page. Much love to you. Happy New Year.